What is up, you guys? I'm so excited to sit down and be doing this video for you guys. It's been a long time coming. 1 year ago today, I made the decision for myself that I was done living an unhealthy lifestyle and done not being comfortable in my own skin. It's so weird to look back and think that it's only been a year since then, because I feel like such a drastically different person in such a different place in my life. If you don't know me, what's up? My name is Kristee. I make fitnessy, grad school, follow my around my life kind of vlogs roughly 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, although you're watching this on a Saturday because this is a special edition because I wanted it to go up on the actual 1-year anniversary of my fitness journey. I thought about planning out this video, but then I was just like, no, like I'm just gonna talk through it. I asked if you guys had questions on my fit Instagram at KristeeVetterFit if you want to follow that and keep up with me on there. But I kind of just want to take you through my journey, looking back, what I wish I'd known a year ago, you know, what's changed since then. You might remember that I did make a video like this exactly 6 months ago on December 9th when I went through my 6-month anniversary of it, but I think it was more drastic from that December point since June. So and I might have overlap with that video. I didn't watch it before this, so I don't exactly remember what I talked about. So just a quick backstory. Throughout my childhood, I was always skinny. I was always really active. I played sports, I danced. Weight was never an issue in my family, so it never like occurred to me as a kid. Once I got to high school, I was not nearly as active as I was as a kid in middle school. I stopped playing sports. I didn't think I was good enough to do high school sports, which I loved volleyball in middle school, and I really wish that I had tried it in high school, but I just didn't think I was competitive enough. I didn't think I'd be good enough. So I just went from being super active to being not active at all. At the end of my sophomore year, I was like, whoa, like I don't like this. I need to lose weight. And then I counted calories obsessively. I over exercised. I did the whole unhealthy, like what not to do when you want to be healthy thing. And over the summer between my sophomore and junior year, I think I lost like 15 pounds. It was like visibly different because it wasn't any muscle, it was all fat. So I was a lot thinner. Then I gained it back because I just reverted back to my habits before that. I didn't instill any healthy habits in my life and I wasn't doing it a sustainable way. So I gained it back and more. And then when I got to college, I gained a significant amount of weight. I don't really trust BMI as like a very scientific measurement, just because everyone's bodies are so different and muscle mass and all of that isn't played into it. But I do think I was on the brink of obesity, if not crossed that line, at my highest weight my freshman year of college. And throughout college, when I went abroad, I slowly lost a little bit of that weight, so like not even consciously, just because like I didn't sustain the super unhealthy freshman year lifestyle. But I was still like not happy with my body or myself, and I kind of turned a blind eye to it, and I kind of ignored it at the same time, like being so aware of it. I graduated college a year ago in May of 2017, and on June 9th of 2017, 1 year ago today, it was a couple weeks after I graduated, and I was just like, I didn't feel super excited for the future and looking towards it, and I was just like feeling kind of stuck. And I was like, I thought about it and I was just like, I'm not happy with myself and where I'm at. So I was like, I'm gonna take my health into my own hands, and I completely just picked myself up. It really came out of nowhere. It was just kind of random. I was just like, I don't want to be a prisoner to my own habits anymore. And so I just started then. I didn't exactly know what I was doing, but I just went for it and made slow changes to my lifestyle, tracking my food and tracking my calories, and probably under eating, honestly, in the beginning. I've talked about this before too. I didn't approach it the healthiest way. I thought it was a healthy way at the time, but like looking back, I was just focused on getting to that result as fast as possible. I did lose 20 pounds in the first 3 months, which was pretty significant. And since then, like I don't think I've looked like drastically different since those initial 3 months, and I think a lot of people like notice that. But I have shifted my focus a lot more towards my body composition and being stronger and feeling better and gaining muscle. In October or November, I kind of switched my focus into gaining muscle, and I didn't track my food anymore. I didn't want to be in a deficit anymore. And I just really focused on getting stronger and building muscle. And in the next few months, up until February or so, I did gain about 10 pounds back, but it was all muscle. I got a body scan. If you guys saw that vlog where I lost about 4% of my body fat between then and September, but I had gained like 10 pounds. So I was freaking out and I was like, I feel so much bigger, blah, 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 even though realistically, like I had gained muscle and lost fat. So I feel like I've been mostly maintaining because I'm kind of just gotten to this place where I'm like at peace with my body, and I still want to make changes that I've talked about. Like ultimately I do want to lose a little bit more fat, but I just don't feel the need to put myself on that like strict deficit again and like tracking goals and this and that. And like, yes, it's good to have goals, but I'm just really happy with the balance I found of a sustainable, healthy lifestyle that's balanced, where I enjoy things, where I indulge time to time, I go out with my friends, I don't stop myself from doing things. It's constant ingrained healthy habits that like take me through life most of the time. That was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but that's kind of like the gist of this past year, very loosely. Go through some of the main questions you guys have and we'll see where we go from there. I was not expecting this many. What are the best easy meals you've made on your fitness journey? I have a hard time eating healthy when I get busy. That's a big thing I want to push, is obviously like diet is a huge part of it. It is like 80%. It's much easier to, you know, eat 1,000 calories in 10 minutes than it is to burn 1,000 calories in 10 minutes. You have to be really, really mindful of what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. One of the big things that helped me was planning out my meals and meal prepping, because I always knew what I was putting in my meals. I always knew what I was gonna eat. There was never a question when I came back late from class, or if you had work or something like that, there was never a question of like, am I gonna get McDonald's? No, because I have a meal prepped meal ready for me that's healthy and it's easy. And personally for me, I don't really get sick of food easily. I eat a lot of the same things and it doesn't bother me. Chicken, sweet potato, like a random assortment of veggies from Trader Joe's that I'll like saute together, you know, rice with a salmon burger. I've just found different combinations that are easy to throw together. So I'd say my biggest advice for that is just try a bunch of different things until you find something that you know you like, and you can always go back to that, and then have a couple meals of those ready when you don't know what you're gonna eat like later on in the week. How do you find the motivation to stick with it even when you're not losing weight? It's a lot harder to make progress with gaining muscle. It takes a lot more time than necessarily losing fat. I mean, they both take time and patience, obviously. That's where my habits have really kicked in, and it's been more discipline than motivation. I've talked about this in the past. I have a whole vlog that's like how to stay motivated. The truth is, you're not always gonna be motivated, but you have to build healthy habits while you are motivated, and while you do feel that fire that's like, I want to do this, you have to really put in place those habits and be disciplined. When you lose that motivation, that's what's going to carry you, because now I don't give it a second thought. Just a lifestyle change, and you will get there if you put in the effort. And it isn't going to be easy at first. It's definitely an adjustment, but once you have those like 3-4 weeks of really working hard and putting in that effort with the motivation, like it'll be so much easier. This is an interesting one that I have gotten a lot of questions about, and I've gone back and forth with talking about it, but I think I do want to do an entire vlog talking about this. It's, do people treat you differently now? You guys might know if you watch my videos, I'm not a very open person. I don't really talk about my personal life in my videos. It's kind of uncomfortable for me to talk about, to be honest, like how people treat me, and especially like questions of guys and relationships and how that's different. I think I want to make a whole vlog about that at some point. So let me know if you want to see that, what kind of questions you'd have for that. Yeah, like it's a big significant difference. I realize how much of a difference like looking different makes with how people treat you, and it's really sad, and I wish it wasn't that way, but like that's reality. People are nicer to me now, which is just sad. People just like look at me more now, which is weird, and it's just something that I never would have noticed because I didn't know differently. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't really know any different, but looking back, like then I just felt more invisible, and it's like a complete 180 with how guys treat me and how, I don't know, I guess I don't want to go too deep into that. But yes, I will say that people do treat me differently now. How did you learn to use the machines at the gym without looking like a complete moron? Well, surprise, I still look like a moron no matter what. This is such a big thing, especially for beginners, and for myself. Like I was so intimidated by the gym, and I didn't want to go ever into the weight section. And when I started my journey, all I did was cardio. I literally would go on the elliptical the whole time. I go on the bike the whole time. What else would I do? I don't freaking know. Lifting weight doesn't make you bulky. It takes so much to build significant muscle, especially if you're eating in a deficit. But what it does is it continuously burns calories, and it like builds up your metabolism more than doing cardio does. Like when you do cardio, you know, you burn the calories in the 20 minutes that you're on the elliptical, and then you stop. But when you lift weights for 20 minutes, you continuously burn those calories after, and once you like build muscle, having that muscle mass will use more energy just you going through your daily life. So it really is like, lifting is more of an investment in your health than cardio is. Like cardio is good for your heart and everything. Like I'm not saying cardio is worthless, but I feel like lifting really is a better investment for your health going forward, and it will help you out in the long run more than cardio will. And I wish that I had done that and incorporated more weights in the beginning. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I digress. I've always wanted to say that. Did that work? Even if you're afraid, just try some machines because it is worthwhile to incorporate them early on in your fitness journey. My biggest advice and philosophy for fitness and getting fit and changing your lifestyle in general is slow and steady wins the race. And the fact is there is no race. So slow and steady just freaking wins wins life. There is no rush, no hurry to get to any certain point. Like, you should not have an end date, an end weight for sure. Like, don't base it off numbers, an end goal. It should just be about feeling your best, you know, being happy in your own skin and feeling and just being healthier. When you go into the gym, don't feel like you have to be an expert at everything you're doing before you do it. Like, it's a learning process. Give yourself grace and just go. And I'd say the first week, challenge yourself to try 2 new machines. You could look up cable machine exercises and then look at like how you can do bicep curls with the cable cords, and then try that. Like a bent over row with the cables, and then try that too. And just challenge yourself to do a little bit at a time, and don't feel like you have to be an expert immediately, because you're not going to be. That's the reality. It's a learning process. If you're afraid, just look up videos on YouTube, on Instagram of how to do it, and just go in with an idea of it. Try it out for yourself. Start with a lower weight. A lot of people ask about gym intimidation, and I do have a whole vlog about that. I'll try to remember to link that below. But what I'd say with that, the biggest thing is just stop thinking and just do it. Just go in. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what they're doing, because honestly, they're not worried about you. Intimidating looking like muscly men are literally like checking themselves out in the mirror. They're not worried about you. So just focus on yourself and doing your best. If you could restart your fitness journey from a year ago, what would you do different? I'm gonna go with the whole cheesy like no regrets answer, because I did have to make mistakes to learn from them. And what I would say to all of you who haven't started yet or just getting started is, like I said before, like, don't feel like you're in a rush. Don't over restrict yourself. I do think it is helpful to track your food just to learn about nutrients and like learn about foods and what you need and what you're lacking in your diet. If you want to track food on MyFitnessPal or something like that, I don't necessarily think that's inherently bad, but just don't obsess too much over calories and don't over restrict. Like 1,200 calories is not enough, especially if you're exercising. Start higher, and then if you feel like you're not making progress, like slowly maybe lower your calories a little bit, but never go below like 1,400, I'd say. I'm not a nutritionist. This is all very personal, so I guess I shouldn't even say that much. And I know that when I say that now, like, I've been through it. I know that me saying like don't be in a rush isn't gonna make you, who is like really motivated and wants to be like so much thinner instantly, isn't gonna make you stop and think, huh, I should not be in a rush. Like, you have to learn it for yourself, and that's just the reality of it. But if I were to give advice to other people, is yeah, start with higher calories and slowly just learn about foods, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. How long did it take for you to see and feel progress? I've been on a fitness journey for a month, and the scale's changing slightly, but I don't think I've hit big milestones. Okay, big thing, don't put milestones in your scale. Like, you should not. I remember in the beginning, I wrote out like this whole goal sheet. I wrote down every single number between where I started and where I thought I'd want to be, like my goal weight, which first of all, I don't think you should have a goal weight, because your body's going to change and it's not going to be a linear, like that number is going to be how you picture it. Like, it's very different and dependent on a lot of things and your body composition and gaining muscle, blah, blah, blah. I feel like the scale can be useful, especially in the beginning when you're losing a lot of fat. But there comes a point where once you're gaining muscle and you just can't put too much faith in the scale. I started June 9th, and then in early July, my roommate and I went through our closets and we're like, we're gonna sell clothes, give away clothes, because we're both moving in August. And I remember trying on things that I found that I forgot I had that I knew were too small for me before, and they were like looser on me. And I was like, oh, like, because I had been like looking at the scale and I thought I'd plateaued, but really it was just like that body composition. I had been gaining muscle and I didn't know. So just, I'd say with progress, like take progress pictures and try on clothes and just focus on how you feel. Someone just plain and simple says, what's the best part of your fitness journey? What's been the most rewarding to me is really feeling like I've like prioritized myself in something. This isn't me trying to be like, I'm so selfless, like all I think about is others. When I was like my unhealthiest and, you know, super overweight, like eating so much sugar and shit and not exercising hardly ever, in the middle of it was like I was in a really, really bad place mentally, and I just like didn't really care about myself. Like I didn't put effort into my appearance, and I just, not that that is like the milestone of caring about yourself, like I don't know how to describe it, but I don't want to say I was depressed because I don't know that. I was just very not myself. I've talked about this in videos. A period through my sophomore year, I just like was completely in a funk, and that's when I was like at around my heaviest weight, and I just didn't care about myself. And now, like, being in this fitness journey, it's made me realize that like I've invested all of this in myself, and I like care about myself again. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, through all of this, all the days of like getting my butt in the gym and sweating, pushing myself and eating healthy, it's all been worth it because I finally feel like I am treating myself how I deserve to be treated. When I was at Coachella, I posted a picture of myself on day 3 on my Instagram, my normal Instagram, at Kristee Better, if you want to follow me. It was like a swipe one, so if you swiped, it was a picture of me from Coachella exactly 3 years before that, where I was like at my heaviest weight, and I was like kind of smiling, but you can tell it was like, I didn't look that happy, I feel like. In the caption I said, I don't miss her. I did get a comment that was just like, this makes me sad because you're like treating yourself, your past self, as if you're like not worthy of, or I don't remember exactly what she said. It was so much more than the physical appearance side of it. Like, looking at the picture of me 3 years ago, I remember how I felt. I remember that I didn't care about myself, and just like making that change and looking at how I feel and how I look, yes, and the difference between those 3 years is just so drastic to me. And it's not because I look different that I am like happier. I think it's because I finally put myself first and have made an effort to like focus on myself and be happier, that the physical appearance followed that. That was just like the final representation to me that I've like come so far. And when I posted that, I didn't post it as in like, haha, I look so much better now, yikes. I posted it as like, I feel so much better, and I feel infinitely like a more improved version of myself, and it's reflected in how I look, but it's not because of how I look. Do you ever feel pressure to be more like or compare yourself to other YouTubers who have also had a weight loss journey? That's such a good question because it's so real, especially with social media. I find myself comparing them like, oh, but like they started after me, but I feel like I should be at this point, like blah, blah, blah. And I really just had to step back and think like, okay, but you're not them. Like, you're yourself. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own struggles and milestones and goals. And especially like looking, if you're watching my videos and I've done this for a year and you haven't started yet and you're like, oh my God, like, not that I'm saying okay, I guess that's a bad example. If you're watching someone like Sarah's Day, that's a better example. Oh my God, she's so fit, she does everything so right, and here I am, like, I'm never gonna get there. This is such a cliche that's used in fitness videos, but in case you haven't heard it, it is helpful. You can't compare your day 1 to someone else's day 365 or day 5,000. Like, some people started their fitness journey like 2011. I remember looking back, sitting in my house in California a year ago, like eating my oatmeal, tracking my calories, and watching. I was obsessed with watching fitness journey videos. Like, if you're starting it, you might feel the same. It's just, oh, I just had an out-of-body experience, like thinking back to myself watching them and like thinking about me talking about this now. I'd be like, oh my God, like they're already so far along and I have so far to go. But you just have to think, like, if you keep at it and if you're persistent and if you stick to those healthy habits, like one day you will be there. And not there in terms of like you're gonna look exactly like them because everyone's different, but there in terms of like you're gonna look exactly how you feel comfortable, and you're gonna be in a place where you're just as happy as you think they are in that moment too. You know what I'm saying? It is hard, and I'm not gonna say like I don't still struggle with that sometimes, but that's just life. In comparison, it's easy on social media, but you just have to like remember you're doing it for you, not to, you know, compete with someone else. Unless you're on The Biggest Loser, then good luck. Another question about like, how do guys treat you differently with weight loss? Has your love life improved? She says, I know you don't do it for them, but I'm still curious because I feel like guys don't talk to me because of my weight. I have chosen not to really include that part of my personal life on my channel, so I'm gonna speak like generally. Yes, like I do get a lot more, see, I don't like talking about this because it just makes me sound like, yeah, like guys, blah, 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 blah. Guys have treated me differently. I do get a lot more attention from guys, but I will say it's just much, like now I feel like I have to be more guarded. Guys are quicker to come, but quicker to leave. Does that make sense? I get more attention, but it's more for the wrong reasons. Like I'm the fucking Bachelorette. She's saying like, has your love life improved? And I just want to say that like, your value doesn't improve because you weigh less. I won't say love life is better, because love will come and go regardless of what you look like, and the attention that's different is more surface level. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at, if that makes sense. Like, more guys talk to me, but it's not like they don't all would want to stick around, you know? I'm gonna end my video on this last question. Thank you guys for watching this. I don't really know what this has turned into. It's kind of just like looking back at my journey, what I wish I would have known, answering your question. Let me know what other videos you want me to delve into, like based on any of these topics or other things you want to hear about, any other questions you have. I hope this was helpful for you. I love you guys so much. This year is gonna be just as good, if not better. I feel like a completely different person looking back. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to stick around. I upload 3 times a week. Love you guys so much, and I'm gonna leave you with this last message I got on Instagram. Fuck, marry, kill. Grace Fit UK's resistance bands, collagen, or everything but the bagel seasoning. And then she says, I would put apple cider vinegar, but let's be honest, kill her immediately. My fam, you get it. You get it. I don't even know if I can answer that. Thanks for sticking with me for this crazy journey of a year, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. And now I'm rhyming. Bye, guys.